Good evening. I'll call this meeting to order. This is the regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Cottonwood, Arizona, to be held September 5th, 2017 at 6 p.m. at the Council Chambers. First item is roll call. City Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Allen?
Here.
Councilmember Althouse?
Here.
Councilmember Henry?
Here.
Councilmember Norman?
Here.
Councilmember Piper?
Here.
Vice Mayor Howdigi?
Here.
Mayor Alinsky?
Here, thank you. Now the next item is the Pledge of Allegiance. I just wanted to say I recognize that we have Troop 7020 here in the room with us tonight, so would one of you gentlemen care to come up and lead us in the pledge this evening? No pressure. Just pull that mic down towards you if you would, up here at the podium, and go ahead and lead us. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. It's good to see the Scouts here. I was a Cub Scout myself. That's a little-known secret. Now it's out there. All right. Next up is brief summary of current events by Mayor, City Council, and/or City Manager. Public body does not propose, discuss, deliberate, or take legal action on any matter brought up during the summary unless the specific matter is properly noticed for legal action. Are there any council members who have anything to report?
I'll go first.
Please.
Local First had a grand opening presentation of their newest shop local map. I was going to bring that. I'm sorry I don't have it. At Main Stage last week, the 29th. And Ruth Ellen Alinsky did a great job. She's just a charming gal, and she did a wonderful job. Before that, many of you will have read an article in The Independent about council members Pfeiffer, Linda Norman, myself, Deputy City Manager Rodriguez, in attendance to the League of Cities and Towns, and the mayor attended also. He actually gave a presentation on the challenges and successes in rural communities, which was really well received. Next year, we were talking, I hope all the council members can attend. There's just so much to get out of it. And I think even if you've been before and you're an old hat and you know the whole routine, you glean pearls of wisdom when you're there. There's so much networking going on. You meet with 91 other communities, council members and firefighters, and there's just so much. I think it's really important that we as a council go to that. That's all I have.
All right, please.
I attended the public forum for the Mingus Avenue reconstruction. We didn't have a whole lot of public participation, but I was there representing the city. The Civic Center tour, Councilmember Norman, Councilmember Pfeiffer, and Allen and I did the Civic Center tour. It was really, really neat to be able to go inside and see the Civic Center. And then, of course, just my normal American Legion Post 25 volunteer work.
Very good. Anybody else from council? No? City Manager have anything to share?
Just real quick, Mr. Mayor, if you were by the airport today, they have started the second phase of the airport runway or apron reconstruction. It'll be the south end of the airport that they'll be working on. And then just to follow up on Councilmember Althouse's comment about Mingus Avenue, we also have surveys online that people can fill out and give us their input related to the Mingus Avenue reconstruction. So if you go to the City of Cottonwood website, you'll find it on there. That's it.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, next item is call to the public. This portion of the agenda is set aside for the public to address the council regarding an item that is not listed on the agenda for discussion. However, the council cannot engage in discussion regarding any item that is not officially listed on the agenda for discussion and/or action. Is there anyone in the audience tonight who would like to address the council for an item that is not on the agenda? No? Okay, then we'll close the floor to the public and move on to item 6, approval of minutes, regular meetings of August 1 and 15, 2017.
I move to approve the minutes as submitted.
Okay, I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the minutes are approved. And then we move on to unfinished business. We have Resolutions number 2905 and 2906, appointing members to the Airport Commission. Ms. Wilbur.
Good evening. I'm Amanda Wilbur, the HR manager. For you, in your packet, there's some background on the Airport Commission. As you know, you interviewed the Airport Commission applicants last week, or last council meeting. 5 out of the 6 were there for you. We have 2 openings. There is listed in the city code is listed on here that says that 4 of the members shall be tenants and lessees of the Cottonwood Municipal Airport or shall have a working knowledge of aviation matters, and 1 member should not be required to be a tenant or lessee of the Cottonwood Municipal Airport, nor shall they be required to have a working knowledge of airport matters. They shall, however, be required to live within the corporate limits of the city of Cottonwood. Your 2 highest scorers were Mr. Clark and Mr. Pedler. Mr. Clark has decided to make his primary residence in Tucson and will live in Cottonwood part-time. So that's why there are 3 options here for you to choose, because we don't really have a definition on what maintaining a residence within Cottonwood really entails. So I wasn't sure what you would want to do with that, since he will be living within the city of Cottonwood, but it will be part-time.
I have a question.
Please.
Do we have, so the other commissioners that are on this, the Airport Commission, do any of them live within the city of Cottonwood?
They all are either tenants or lessees, and I know at least 2 out of the 3 don't live within the city limits, but since they are tenants or lessees, they would meet the other qualification, not the 5th person who doesn't have to have a knowledge or be a tenant and live within the city of Cottonwood. So I think for that 1 spot, it would be either Mr. Clark, who will be here part-time, or Mr. Tinnen, who has received the 3rd highest score. He lives within the city limits, but doesn't necessarily have a working knowledge of the airport, although he has been on the commission for a long time.
Right. I think it's important that somebody live within the city limits. I actually think it's important for more than 1 person on the commission, but that's a discussion for a different time. And to drive from Tucson to Cottonwood, that's quite a haul. So
he has said that he's willing to do that, and I believe he plans on coming back to the area later on, but right now it'll be part-time. So I think it depends on whether you want to have someone who's a part-time resident or if you want to have someone who is a full-time resident.
I think I would share concerns too about Mr. Clark living in Tucson, even though he says he's willing to make the commitment. I know that this commission is pretty active, and they sometimes hold meetings more frequently if they're discussing issues that are more important. I just worry that he wouldn't be able to attend all the meetings.
So could we get an opinion from our council on the part-time residency? Acceptable, not?
It's acceptable if you decide it is. I think the challenge here is parsing what the council that adopted these requirements for the makeup of the commission intended. My best stab at that is you wanted expertise on matters related to airport and aviation, and then you wanted to make sure there was at least 1 resident who, the best reading of those criteria is you almost wanted that person to not have that kind of either stake or experience in aviation, because 4 of them have to, but you wanted that person to be a lay person who lived within the city limits. But that's, there's only 7 people on the council, I would be the 8th.
I would agree with you, Mayor. I do have concerns about somebody, not that he's not definitely qualified, but I'd really prefer somebody that we know can devote and is more focused with this community rather than somebody down south. Perhaps when he decides to make this a permanent residence and is up here more often, I would feel more comfortable and feel like he was actually more focused on this community. That's just my thoughts on that.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't, and doesn't the other gentleman, Mr. Pebler, live in Phoenix? Which isn't quite as bad of a commute, but those of you who just made the Tucson, almost Tucson to Cottonwood, that, you know, that's another 2 hours, so.
Right. Although he would probably fly.
Well.
In good weather.
True,
Right.
I actually didn't think of that.
But still, it's a haul. That's a big commitment to make from so far away.
Says that Mr. Pebler is not currently a resident, but he owns a home in Verde Heights
Okay.
on his application.
Mr. Tinnen has done a wonderful job on the commission in the past, and he has the aviation knowledge and expertise just being there. He's learned an awful lot and been a big help to the commission. So
He's been on ever since the inception, I
Yeah.
think.
That's true.
and he understands the comings and goings up there.
Okay. Well, would council like to move forward then with appointing Mr. Pebler and Tinnen then? Okay.
Motion to appoint Mr. Tinnen to it's a number of the 2905, and a motion to appoint let's see, who's the other one? Pebler, yeah, there it is. To resolution 2906.
Second.
Okay, Vice Mayor made the motion and Councilmember Norman seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Very good. City Clerk, please read resolutions number 2905 and 2906.
Resolution number 2905, a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Cottonwood, Yavapai County, Arizona, appointing Billy Tinnen a member of the Cottonwood Airport Commission and establishing his term of office. Resolution number 2906, a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Cottonwood, Yavapai County, Arizona, appointing Timothy Peebler a member of the Cottonwood Airport Commission and establishing his term of office. Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. All right, on to the consent agenda. The following items are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless the council member or citizen so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. And tonight there are 9 items on the consent agenda. Number 1 is resolution number 2904, approving an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Phoenix for use of Phoenix's municipal tax dashboard's business intelligence system. Item 2 is 1-year extension to the contract with Donald Zelichowski, CPA, for transaction privilege tax auditing services. Item 3 is cost-sharing agreements with the Verde Valley Military Service Park Organization and the Old Town Association for profits from the sale of spirituous liquor during the Thunder Valley Rally event. And item 4 is consideration of a new liquor license application for Kim K. Kwiatkowski, applicant for Circle K store number 9527 to be located at 1500 East Mingus Avenue. Item 5, extension of premises liquor license permit application submitted by Lauren K. Merritt, licensee for Maverick, located at 690 West Highway 89A. Resolution number 2908, appointing Paul Julian as pro tem city magistrate. Item 7, resolution number 2907, appointing E. Lynn Reardon as an associate magistrate. Item 8, authorization for cooperative use of the City of Mesa contract number 2014085 and approval of cooperative purchase agreement with Sierra Auction Management, Inc. for auctioneer services. And item 9, a memorandum of understanding with Teston Properties LLC, GM Fratelli LLC, and Mangini House 1 LLC for the excavation and removal of fill material from a portion of the airport. Is there any member of the council that would like to have an item pooled?
Yes, I'd like to pull number 3.
Number 3, okay. Is there any member of the public that would like to have an item pooled for discussion? Okay, then let's go ahead and pull item 3. We'll take that right now.
Do you want to approve the rest of the agenda first?
You want to approve would that be better? Approve the consent agenda first and then pool? Okay.
It doesn't matter to me.
Let's do that then. I move to approve the consent agenda with the exception of number 3.
Second.
Okay, so Mayor made the motion, Councilmember Piper seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, City Clerk, please read resolution number 2904, resolution 2908, 2907.
Resolution number 2904, a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Cottonwood, Yavapai County, Arizona, approving an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Phoenix for cooperative use of the Phoenix-hosted and developed municipal tax dashboards on the Phoenix Business Intelligence System. Resolution number 2908, a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Cottonwood, Arizona, appointing Paul Daniel Julian as a pro tempore city magistrate and establishing his term of office. Resolution number 2907, a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Cottonwood, Arizona, appointing E. Lynn Reardon as an associate city magistrate and establishing her term of office. Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so item 3 from the consent agenda is cost-sharing agreements with the Verde Valley Military Service Park Organization and the Old Town Association for profits from the sale of spirituous liquor during the Thunder Valley Rally event. Mr. Allen, thanks for being here.
Yep. Mr. Mayor, Council, Hezekiah with the Parks Recreation Department. So basically, these are cost-sharing agreements with the 2 nonprofits that are participating in Thunder Valley Rally this year. As you recollect, we earlier passed the liquor licenses for these 2 agencies. They are the nonprofits, so the liquor licenses are pulled in their name. The Old Town Association represents the 2 locations in Old Town, and the Military Service Park represent the location at Riverfront Park. And basically what it does is it outlines how the money will be shared, revenue across the board. As a part of the liquor license process, 25% goes back to the charity. The rest goes to the City of Cottonwood after bar expenses are covered. So,
Is there a maximum at 25%? Was it last year? Was it like $10,000, or was there a certain amount, a number amount last year?
it's really just 25% of gross.
And
so
the
there's not a cap on what that 25% can reach. Whatever, if we do $100,000, then they get 25% of that.
Okay, let me, and this is I wish I had somebody from the Old Town Association here that could help me with this, Hezekiah, but maybe you can help me wrap my brain around it. Back in November 16th of 2016, we had that meeting at the Parks and Rec Commission, and I went through the minutes, and on page 10, paragraph 1, I'm going to quote Mike Kilpatrick on that. And if you recall, he stated, and this is paraphrased, regarding the $10,000 the OTA receives from this event, now that's talking about the liquor licenses, the liquor sales that they get, he would be happy to put $5,000 of his own money, and he is sure other businesses would also make up that $10,000 loss. The OTA can more than cover that. And I was there, many of the OTA members were nodding their heads saying, yeah, we don't need the city's money. So understand I'm focused on being fiscally desirable, because that whatever money they get would actually go to our bottom line rather than the OTA, and that's something that the public is very adamant that we continue to decrease that difference of what we spend and what comes back. So I just want to understand why we're providing the OTA $10,000 when they've made it clear that they really didn't, at that point, they didn't want it and they can get it themselves.
Okay, so Councilwoman Allen, sounds like it's a kind of a 2-part question. The first part is, why did the TBR committee go back with the Old Town Association? The second part is, why can't we just keep the revenues from the 25%? The answer to the second question, part of the liquor license process is that it's got to be pulled in a civic entity's or a nonprofit's name. The city attorney and risk management have always agreed that we want to keep our distance from that liquor license process. So we've always gone through a nonprofit to pull a license for any of the events we've ever done, except for wine festival type licenses. So we have to give 25%. We can't get around that.
Got it.
TBR committee deliberated many times over this topic and really felt to help build relations with the merchants in Old Town to overcome this and to get to the next level, so to speak. That it would behoove us to go with the Old Town Association again, especially for the 2 bar locations in Old Town. Now, the caveat to that is that because the main stage isn't down in Old Town anymore, it's at Riverfront Park, majority of the sales typically happen during the main concerts. So the revenues realized by the two bars are not going to be as high as they have been in the past. But it's also hopefully going to help heal some relationships.
And they understand that?
Yes.
Okay. You hope? Okay, that's explained.
It's been conveyed.
That's all I needed to know.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Mayor?
Thank you.
Any other discussion from council? No? Okay. Then do I hear a motion? I'll go ahead and motion to approve the proposed revenue sharing agreements between the city and the Verde Valley Military Service Park and the Old Town Association for the sale of alcoholic beverages at Thunder Valley Rally.
Second.
Okay, Mayor made the motion. Councilmember Pfeiffer seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
No.
Okay. And then we move on to new business. Item 1 is request for a pay adjustment for Dorothy Gonzalez, Court Clerk 1.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. I'm Lynn Reardon, and I am your court administrator. And you just appointed me for my 3rd term as an associate magistrate. Can you hear me okay?
There you go.
All of you know, I'm sure from being in business, that hiring an exceptional employee is difficult to do on the surface. You get to see some paper and an application, you meet them one time, you get some vague information from previous employers and from their resume, and then you pick the best person. We chose Dorothy Gonzalez on the 1st of June. She has turned out to be an exceptional employee. She brings to our office much more than we anticipated. She's bilingual. She's very computer literate, which will be a huge advantage to our office, as we'll be going to an integration into a new software program in February. And I believe that we hired her at a much lower rate than what she is worth. I'm not asking for what I think she's worth, because that would be way more than what is reasonable. But I think that we should increase her pay to something that is more in line with what the neighboring borough courts pay at their mid to top end beginning salaries. We hired her at $15.62 an hour, and I'm asking for $17. And I need your blessing.
So one of her qualifications is that she's bilingual.
Yes, very fluent.
Do we have anyone at the court now that interprets for these Spanish speakers?
We pay an interpreter for court hearings. That's required by law. If it is not a court hearing, then no, we do not have anyone that can interpret for them, except Dorothy.
So are the interpreters required to be certified in some way?
Yes, they have to be certified. And we usually get them through the registry or through the Yavapai County Superior Court. I believe their minimum rate is $50 an hour, and I believe we pay them a minimum hour, 2 hours or 4 hours.
So is this young lady, Dorothy Gonzalez, is she going to be certified, or?
She has indicated that she's starting that process at some point. She is not certified at this time. She cannot do court hearings.
But she can interpret at the front desk?
Always, and on the phone.
Okay, very good, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a follow-up question.
Please.
I guess to be devil's advocate, when she was hired, she was bilingual.
Yes.
Okay, so, and she was hired at the $15.62 an hour.
That's correct.
I mean, to me, when you accept a position, from what I read in the packet, the city manager had an opportunity to go higher if he chose to, or if he would ask for more at that time. You know, being fiscally responsible, I guess that's the key word tonight. You know, she was hired at a rate, and we're 4 months in, and, you know, to be asking for a raise and to be using bilingual as the reason, she was bilingual when she was hired, and you knew she was bilingual.
That is correct, and she did not ask for a raise. I'm asking for an increase for her.